Israel is now turning its barren lands into fertile fields, and here is how. In 2012, a reputable report to the world about upcoming water crisis would affect more than 1.5 billion people. This problem would not only make water very difficult to access, but also it would be a disaster for global food supply. Keeping this forecast as serious as they possibly could, Israel started planning, and don't forget 60% of Israeli territory is covered by desert. As of today, Israel is one of the well-known suppliers of water. The motivation behind this feat originates from Israeli history, as in 1920. British governments who had charge of this land were warned of not injecting any more Jews into this land due to water scarcity. However, the dwellers of this land managed to find a solution to this problem, courtesy of which a land having water resources for less than 2 million people is now home to more than 14 million people. To address the problem, in 1939, the finest Polish hydraulic engineer, Simcha Blas, was commissioned to design a new water distribution system. Simcha Blas, as expected, came up with a 3-phase plan that would extend over decades but would resolve the issue right from its core. The first phase was to dig deep boreholes to extract water from the ground. The Polish engineer was convinced that even beneath the arid soils of Israel, there are bodies of water. However, due to Israel's high desert-to-land ratio, they had to make sure that every drop of water they extracted was utilized. For that purpose, in the next 2 phases, Israel started establishing a distribution system that would transport water from richer areas to ones that lacked a drop. This brings us to the second phase of this plan, which revolved around pumping water from the Jordan River to the southeast. But by far, the most important phase of this plan was the third one. The third phase was the construction of the National Aqueduct, which was a huge diversion of more than 10 kilometers that would transfer water from the north of the country, particularly from the Sea of Galilee, to the largest freshwater lake in the country. Here is an interesting, rather controversial aspect that the Israeli parliament agreed upon, making an agreement with Germany for this project. Nevertheless, they had the money because of the indemnity they received as compensation. They received 3 billion marks, and by 1955, the Jordan River diversion was completed, and in the next few years, the process of building the aqueduct in the country started. In 1964, the National Aqueduct also became a reality. To address the problems regarding water supply that originated in the 21st century, bang! In 2006, the water management system was transferred from political to technocratic custody. The Israeli Water Authority was created, whose mission is to manage this system in a highly professional manner. They started charging for the seamless supply of reliable water because building water infrastructure cost a lot. And another reason was to promote the idea of saving water, because when people have to pay more, they start consuming less. As a direct response to this decision, residential water consumption of the county depleted by 20%. This is not the only authority working for the betterment of water distribution, but Israel also ventilated the air of new companies lining up to innovate in this perspective. Agricultural in Israel has flourished amazingly, thanks to the seamless supply of water. Every year, Israel manages itself $2 billion worth of agricultural sales, and interestingly so, major share revenues come from fruits and vegetables. They developed a technique called drip irrigation that allows saving 6% of water while improving crop yields. This technique involves watering the plant drop by drop directly to the root. This technique was improved by another technique called fertigation, which involves drip irrigation with fertilizer. The American Society for Horticultural Sciences recently called Israeli automated desert agriculture technology one of the most significant advances in food production in the past 100 years. Another problem Israel faced was the saline nature of supplied water, and to deal with that, the country, instead of investing loads of money in desalination plants, developed fruits and vegetables that are least bothered by the presence of salty minerals in the agricultural water supply. If you compare the current and the past satellite views of Israel, you will see a major improvement. This improvement is not only beneficial for Israel, but also is an example for other countries to follow. Do let us know which aspect of this development to you was the most interesting in the comments section. Also, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. That's it for today. Till next time, peace.